Really excited to see CTF slums here. Like you said, there's so many different ways to play. CTF, Chewy, it's the number one thing you learn is you have to rotate back to flag.
Yes, for sure. That's like the number one priority in my opinion when you've got well, especially when you've got a couple of people down. If you've got two or three people back on your team, if they haven't pulled the flag away, the first thing you do, especially in that top section, if you're spawning junkyard, as you will do a lot of the time, instead of just everybody pushing forward to blue, as you do see a lot of the amateur teams decide to do, always rotate back to flag. You've got to try and play that defensively. You can start to play aggressive once you get a few people down on the map, but if you're playing defensively and you're spawning up and you're not rotating back to flag, then there's something going on. And yeah, but I mean, I'm not the best player in the world. Some other people may have different opinions on it. That's just from my experience and what I've been told by people on what you should do anyway. But I'm having a look through the lineup here, and I'm actually having a look at Supremacy, and I think actually Tony Jaa is actually going to be the only one so far running an assault rifle at the minute. So we'll see if that plays out for them. They're obviously going for that aggressive SMG push from everybody. Loads of people using SMGs, which is kind of what I like on CTF. See if we can get a lot of flag pulls in there, and they are starting to get the initial control, as we do see Moose and Realize the only ones left alive for the second.
And a good wall bang there from Realize. I think he put it through like 3 walls there. Good shots from him to defend his base, but we do have a flanker going in for that pool, and that's going to be Reckon right away. I'm going to keep him highlighted as I'm still on board with Gets him right now. As Tony Jaa picks up a nice 2-piece, and they will get that flag out. Now it's up to the cutoffs there, and there is a player in blue that's going to be Realize. Reckon does pick up Realize, so now a nice flag run here. They got to cut off the mid. Can they do it? It's going to be Zyler. Zyler does pick up Moose there. He's going to rotate to blue, and it looks like the flag's going to go away. Chewy one chaser. Doesn't look like they're going to get it, and it's going to be Reckon putting it in for the 1-0 flag lead.
54-second flag cap. This is what I wanted. This is what I said. When you pull out 3 SMGs like that, you've got to be aggressive, and I was predicting that they were going to get an early flag cap, or at least an early flag pull if they got those first kills down, and you see that worked incredibly well for them, as we see Reckon actually, he's only on a 3 score streak, but because he pulled that flag away and got the flag cap as well, he's also been able to get that Hellstorm missile. He's not going to use it yet, I wouldn't have thought, because they're not in a tricky situation. They're playing defensive right now, as you do see all of TC starting to push up towards the map. They've made that halfway mark, and they're all pushing through now. We see Moose unfortunately getting taken out. Let's jump on board with TC. I'm going to jump on board with Mello, see what he's going to be able to do here. Unfortunately, he does get taken out himself. Codcaster's curse coming in big pity. I was wondering when that was going to happen.
And it just did, as we see Legend smoking the flag, tries to pull it, but there's 2 Supremacy players right there to shut that down really quickly, Chewy. And now Supremacy finally have control of their base, as I'm trying to talk here. I'm American, get over it. Supremacy have control of their base, so they're going to push out the mid-map there, and that's what I like. They got that flag cap, Chewy. They didn't play it over anxiously, and they waited for TEC to come in there, slayed them out of their base, and now they get control of the map once more.
Yep, they've got control of the map again, just as you said. They started to play defensively once that flag went in, and then yeah, they've pretty much played it perfectly so far. And this is what I said in the pre-game lobby. You wanted to have a look at how their respawn game mode was, because anything can happen in that first map, which we missed. And a lot of people kind of predict that if a team's going to take hardpoint, they're also going to be strong at their other respawn game mode of CTF as well. But TEC is starting to struggle on this because yeah, Supremacy are just getting complete dominance right now, and Neckin's already managed to get his streaks. He's not got that war machine quite yet, but he has got that lightning strike and that Hellstorm missile, and that's going to come in big. We're a quarter of the way through the entire game, 2 minutes 27 seconds left on the clock, and anything can happen. I've seen crazier comebacks, especially in this tournament and especially on this map, but I'm really impressed with how Supremacy are playing so far.
Let's see if Reckon can pick up his score streaks here. He's going to be challenged from White Van, and he is going to get that war machine. That's a good time to point out, Chewy. The new rule set going to happen in UMG. The Gfinity rule set where the sentry guns are banned, and I absolutely love that. Now the players aren't forced to, play campy and defend that sentry gun for so long now. And we see Reckon once more going in for a flag pull, but he's going to be taken out. But yeah, I absolutely love the European rule set for this game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been one of those things that every now and again you'll see a couple of MLG teams do scrim, just amateur teams just want to try the Deserto rule set. But I really like the way that Gfinity kind of catered for both, because they had North American teams going over and they had EU teams going over. So they said, okay, well, we'll have EU rule sets and MLG maps. Simple as that. And now everybody's like, oh, why didn't we think of that? And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I love the way it's coming. But we'll jump back on board with the game anyway and shut up about that. I'm going to jump on board with Legend. Unfortunately, he does get taken out. He was on a 4 score streak himself, so we'll switch down to Realize who's on a 4 score streak right by the enemy's flag. He does get taken out. Wow, the Codcaster's curse is coming in massive. I do apologise, TC. Blame it all on Chewy. Hashtag blame Chewy. And they're just not able to push in here. Great work from Supremacy to completely take them away as Reckon gets a 2-piece. Look at that.
Yeah, great plays there from Reckon, and great play again from Supremacy, making sure their base is clear. That's what we said, Chewy. Rotate back to flag. When you're dead and you lose map control, there's no reason to push for the map control without securing your flag first, and that's exactly what they're doing, and now they're pushed up once again very aggressively trying to get this flag pull out. Reckon and Tony Job both picking up kills, and now they're going to try to pinch the players defending the flag right now. Can they do it? Supremacy. Zyler comes in for one. Moose does take out Zyler, but he's going to be pinched back to the all the way to spawn. Nothing he can do here. It looks like the flag's getting away. It's going to be all up to Legend. Can Legend pick up the kill? And he does, Chewy. Clutch return. Good play there from Legend.
Yep, definitely, for sure. We did see Reckon manage to pull the flag away there and put it towards blue, but Getsum actually killed Reckon there. So there was a team kill that went down, and Legend absolutely went huge at the end. He does get taken out himself. They did pull the flag away again. Legend's just all over the map. This guy's defending 1 minute and getting clutch flag returns and then going over the other side of the map and pulling it away. We do see Moose pulling the flag now. He's going to be able to turn on somebody here. No, he isn't. Tony Jar gets that B23R kill, and he's going to take out Moose there, and it's going to go 1-0 to this first half of CTF between TEC and Supremacy, and this is already starting to look good for Supremacy. They've only managed to get one flag cap on that good side, good in inverted commas, but if TEC can start to up their workload right now, then they're definitely going to be able to come back into this, I think.
And now let's see what TEC can do on this good side, Chewy. Now we do know that Reckon has streaks for Supremacy, and that can come in big here. That's going to be, ideally, you stop 3 flag runs with those score streaks right there. So we'll have to see how he plays them. Hopefully he doesn't choke him and that Supremacy can keep this. But on the other side, let's see if this good side is going to help out Mello, because he is struggling just a little bit. And hopefully he can bring up his game just that little bit and see what he can do here.
I didn't even realize his score, Mello. I'm not going to put him on blast or anything like that. He's a really nice guy. But yeah, he definitely needs to pick up his game. Only going 3-14 right now. We'll switch on board with him because we always like to give people some stream love if they're struggling.
There you go.
That's always a good start. Managing to pick up that first kill there on Getsum. We do see quite a few down there for Supremacy, and TC needs to get full map control right now. We do see Mello starting to go towards that cop car. He's not running an AR though, so he's not going to really be able to challenge anybody and get some. Look at that accuracy, managing to pick up that headshot there. Beautiful. On Mello, managing to completely take him out, and this guy's just going off. I'm really impressed with Getsum so far.
A nice play from Legend there to pick up a 2-piece, and Moose is going to clean up the third player. They're going to try to pinch the flag right now. Can they get it? It's going to be Reckon left all alone. Realize is going to make the kill, but again, that rotation back to the flag is a beautiful thing to see from Supremacy as Tony Job picks up a clutch 2-piece. Still a little bit of pressure on the flag, but they should be able to clean it up as Getsum finally does take out Legend.
They just seem so calm on their defense.
Yeah.
Like in these situations when TC, they got a couple down, they started to really push up and stuff like that, but they were like, no, we know what we're doing. We'll rotate back to flag, as we said earlier on, and they know exactly what they're doing. This is absolutely brilliant play from Supremacy here. They're not getting worried, but they have actually got 3 down at the minute. Zyler is the last one left alive. He's going to pick up a nice kill there on Legend as the rest of his team is going to be able to. Oh, look at that turn on Realize. Oh, wow. Moose managed to pick up the kill. Let's jump on board. Moose, he's trying to pull the flag away. Unfortunately, he doesn't. And again, Pizzy, Zyler was the last one left alive there, and that still he just held his own and was just like, no, I'm not going to do it. And wow, brilliant plays by him.
It was a great turn on to Realize. Unfortunate for Realize, it looked like he picked up at least 3 bursts into him. So this is the online Call of Duty game that you have to play sometimes, and it does look like Zyler's going to push up to mid-map and take out Realize there, and a lot of heavy defense going on from the Supremacy lineup, Chewy. TEC, they're making great pushes in there, and they've got map control this whole time. They have to get this flag out. It's 3 minutes left. It's not desperate right now, but they really need to start at least making Reckon rather use the score streaks.
I'm wondering just one thing again. I'm not a player. I'm not the best in the world. Anybody can say that I'm wrong in this, but I'm wondering if smokes would help TEC out, because I just see them starting to run down into that flag area towards that bottom trash area or junkyard, whatever you want to call it, and they're just kind of running in there and they're just getting outslayed. So I'm wondering if smokes would kind of duke out Supremacy a bit. Maybe just an idea. This is just Chewy trying to throw some things into
Chewy, that's exactly right. That could happen. That would help a lot, and especially we didn't see any trophies down on the flag, and we do see all the way on the other side, it's Getsum snuck all the way into the TEC base, and Chewy, this happens. TEC have had map control this entire time, and they spawned up Garage. They didn't have the awareness to say, hey, we spawned up Garage, someone pushed our junk, and now because of that, we're going to see Getsum get a flag out, and now all of TEC are in the base, and they're all going to get slayed. They're spawning up break side, and it looks like it's going to be Getsum getting through here. He avoids the stun. Chewy, this is going to be 2-0.
Yep, 2-0 is going to be the score. We'll jump on board with Getsum, managing to see him. There we go. He does manage to put it in. Great plays by him. He's been going off this game. Let's have a look at the scoreboard so far. Reckon's actually been the guy who's doing all the work, pretty much. Not all the work, but he's been the one doing most of the work, going 17-8 with 1 capture and 2 returns. Great plays from him. Mello still struggling, going 6-20 right now. Not having the best of games, unfortunately. And yeah, this is looking less and less likely like TEC are going to be able to come back into this. And after having that 1-0 lead, it looks like they're going to be 2-1 down, Pizzy.
but we do get hard point next. Should this lead stand? Now there is a minute and 30 seconds, so it is possible. But you know, you talk about wrecking score streaks. He hasn't used them at all here. He's got a Hellstorm and a Lightning still, so it's going to be very difficult for TEC. They do get 2 down there. They need to pinch this flag. They're doing a great job of it right now, and it looks like good play from Reckon to get away. He is finally going to be cleaned up by Moose. Now Moose has to get this flag out, and it's not going to happen. They got players to back him up. But Tony Jaw with a 2-piece Chewy, absolutely massive, and that's one thing we've been seeing from Supremacy Chewy this whole time, is they've just been clutched on this flag.
Oh yeah, clutch for sure. As we do see Getza managing to pull the flag away here from the TEC base. He does see Mello towards that graveyard section, but he's not going to be able to challenge anything right now. He's just backing off. Mello starting to try and get some kills on the board. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do anything at the minute because Getzem is playing this so smart, just backing away. He knows they've got this 2-0 lead. He's got the flag away, and he's just going to be playing this really super cautious right now. He's happy not to go anywhere with it because he knows Mello's just going to try and challenge him. He's got that tap mask on, which means he isn't going to get anything from concussion grenades. And there we go. Look at that kill. Mello is not going to be happy with that one.
No, and that's when you know things aren't going your way. When you're Mello right there, you tag him up a few times, and he's able to get you a hip fire. Yeah, that's just unfortunate there, but this is the game they play right now. We do see the streaks coming in as Mello is able to take out the flag carrier, but Reckon's going to keep that flag alive, probably going for some bonus points right now. Let's see if they can do it. It's going to be Zyler picking up the flag with 13 seconds. Chewy, he can get this, and it looks like they're going to rub it in just that little bit more and take a 3-0 flag lead and win this CTF 3-0, like I just said.
There we go. 3-0 is going to be with the score. It's 3.1 seconds left on the clock. It doesn't really matter. Mello is not a happy bunny. He has actually dashboarded from the game. He's not just left. He's dashboarded from it. He is not happy at all after that score. He doesn't want anybody in the stream looking at his score. I know it was about 8 and 24, 8 and 25 maybe. Sorry to put you on blast, dude.
Chewy's going to tell you. You don't have to say
you can rage quit the game. I don't care. I'll still call you out on that. But there we go. 3-0 is going to be the score. And Supremacy now, the French team Supremacy, only need one more map. They only need 10 minutes more gameplay to go through to the losers bracket round 11, I think it is. I think there's still some more losers bracket games to go, and they're going to knock TEC completely out of this tournament if they take this next map. Now you have to think about it though, because TEC did take that first hardpoint game, so if they can do it again, and if Mello can pick up his game and start to play you know, a bit better than that last CTF, then it's going to go to a last map, Pizzy, which of course we would love to see.
Do or die situation. Chewy backs against the wall. There's no excuses right now if you're Mello. You have to pick your game up right now. Again, he's a great player. We saw him do good things there in the search and destroy. I'm pretty sure he was one of the top players on his team. And then, of course, they won the hard point as a team. We didn't get to see the stats or anything, but I assure you that Mello did contribute. So hopefully he can pick his game up here. Maybe he went to reset his internet, Chewy. Sometimes that happens. The player gets to reset his internet, and he comes back in a big way.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And I do have to say, Pizzy, I'm not putting him on blast again, but he wasn't actually doing too well in that search and destroy. He went 4 and 9 in that search and destroy.
Oh, wow.
So Mello's been struggling just for the last 2 games. He probably went off in that first hardpoint game because I love his hardpoint game. Mello is definitely one of the strongest in hardpoint I've seen. Well, I just love the way that TEC play hardpoint as a whole. I'm so excited to see what they can do at EGL. And EGL is next week, Pizzy. We've got a break here to chat about everything. EGL is next week. We've got UMG Atlanta on at the same weekend. We've got some big things planned for EGL. Obviously, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but I am actually casting that. It's my first event ever going to cast that, so I'm a bit nervous. I've been doing some research and stuff like that, but I'm so excited as well. And TEC are definitely up there. You know, they're one of the top seeds so far, as long as things don't change. With, you know, because obviously there are some strong FAs with some pro points that are going to be forming squads before EGL starts. But yeah, TEC are definitely going to be one of the top seeds, and I can't wait to see what they do. They play so well at Reflex GT not too long ago, and they've been playing really well. They're a strong squad. They're always a really nice bunch of guys, and everybody behind the scenes at TEC is really nice. So I'm hoping they can pull this out now. You know, I'm not showing any favoritism because Supremacy.
Yes, you are.
No, because Supremacy have been really impressing me so far. I don't know what it is. It's probably the Chewy and Pizzy factor. The Supremacy were like, oh my gosh, it's Chewy and Pizzy. We need to pick up our game after losing that half, so we'll get things back going. But yeah, so the French team Supremacy are currently 2-1 up in this series right now. I'm still waiting for Mello to get back into the game. Hopefully he's not had any internet issues. He's just restarting things and getting the game going as soon as possible. And yeah, Yemen Hardpoint's going to be the next map now. This is one, I was playing this earlier. It's such a difficult one to judge sometimes, Yemen hardpoint, because obviously if you play stupidly well and get all your points, get all your kills in the hardpoint and get those defends on the board, you're gonna win hardpoint. That's pretty much just a stereotypical representation of it. But I feel that this map is the most important one for rotations and making sure you get that initial push. And I feel on the amateur side, a lot of teams don't really, push that left-hand street. If you're spawning towards church there on the initial first hardpoint, I love it when people start to push that left-hand street and get up to the top towards rugs and that area and get the top spawn ready for the second hard point. But it seems a lot of people neglect that, so I hope these guys don't. And yeah, it will be an interesting one to see how the spawns play in this and how people anchor it.
Yeah, definitely, Chewy. And like you said, this Yemen is all about rotations. Positional play comes in huge here because it is so easy to spawn a team across the map if you're doing it right. And on every single hard point. When you do that, your ARs come in big, and that's another factor in this game right now is the assault rifles have to be on point. If your ARs don't miss, you're not going to lose this game type right now. Most teams, I like to see a traditional 3 SMG, 1 AR setup on most hard points. But on this Yemen, Chewy, it seems to be 3 ARs, 1 SMG, and that's a lot of long-range gunfights. You just have to get in position because you don't want to be spawning across the map. You're spawning across the map, and the enemy team could be just anywhere waiting for you to come around the corner and pop. You're dead. Now you're spawning across the map again, and you've wasted 20 seconds trying to get over there in the first place.
Yeah, of course. It's such a difficult one, and as I always say when I cast this map at the start of it, like if you're pushing that market hardpoint up at the top, and then you push it unsuccessfully, and you spawn right back at market, not at market, sorry, at scaffold, right down towards church, it's so difficult to know if you want to rotate up to the top again or anything because, you could make that. You could run up there and it could take you a good 15 seconds or so to get back up there. But if you don't make that push again successful and you fail, then you've just given them basically a full 60 seconds and you could have spawned anywhere around the map. So it's such a difficult one to navigate around at times. You've really got to be on point with it. You do see a lot of the EU teams actually favouring to play it sometimes. It was one at Gfinity I remember being played quite a lot actually at the start of series, which was quite a weird one. I wasn't really expecting it. Usually you see a raid or a standoff at the start. But yeah, I like seeing Yemen played. It's a different one. And also you have to remember that devious church hardpoint because Pizzy, we're playing Deserto. You haven't got shotguns to hold it down.
Thank goodness, right? Let's be honest about that. That is the most frustrating thing in the world. It's not even about playing it right. You just have to get lucky when you're trying to break that church hardpoint when there's shotguns in there. There is a Scorpion, which is basically a shotgun because you could just spray that thing for days and get an instant kill. But I like it. I like this map with Deserto rules, and I hate it with MLG rules.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, it's not a thing that's going to be do or die on it, whether you have a shotgun or not. But on that church hill, it can be. But I feel at the same time, like that one shotgun isn't going to be the one thing that's going to win you the entire game on this, just because it's such a large map and there are so many different things. And as you said, those ARs are the key role in it. But at the same time, I definitely do prefer the EU side of things. I definitely do prefer the Deserto thing as a whole, especially on this map, because you don't have those sentry guns as well and stuff like that, which is your fifth man on the map. They come in a bit more big on CTF, I feel, but on a map like Yemen, again, you can just place that sentry gun down in an open area on here, and it can hold down quite a large portion of the map. So we're not going to see anything like that. It's purely basically just down to your gun skill and whether you're going to be able to rack up streaks. And then, of course, we get into the whole discussion about streaks because they're going to be big.
Oh, don't ask me about streaks. But yeah, no, on this map, there's really 2, maybe 3. You can say Treehouse you can max out on really easily, but I disagree because there's 3 ways to pinch from, and so if you're caught out one time, you've lost your setup. But I think the top market hardpoint without streaks is an easy 60 seconds to get, and then of course, like we just said, Chewy, church, if you play it right, should be an easy 60 seconds to get, and rotating through twice, that's a total of 240 points you can get in 2 hardpoints. So that's where I'd put my main focus, that and the Treehouse hardpoint.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, we do see that first hard point sometimes neglected. I keep going on about it, and everybody who's heard me cast before will keep hearing me repeat that because it's true. A lot of people do neglect that first hard point just because that second one is quite important, and that one's usually a hotly contested one as well. But yeah, when when a team is in control of that top market hard point, they're usually only really going to be pushing from 2 sides. The full team, they're either going to be spawning towards that statue section and pushing up towards the left-hand side, looking out from the market, or they're going to be pushing right up on that right-hand street as well and really spawning out. So it's such a difficult one to push into, I find anyway, because I'm not the best player in the world, but I find it a really difficult one to push into. So if you can hold that down, and if you've not got any streaks of Hailstorm missiles coming in and hitting you on the head, then you should be fine on that in a stereotypical situation anyway, as long as you set up right And same with that church hardpoint. You know, if you get control of the back side of that church hardpoint, you know, you've got somebody watching you jump up as well. Like, you're all good pretty much.
Yeah, there's very little cover in that mid-street hard point like you're talking about, Chewy. And there's so many spots you can see it from. You just look at all, you know, you can see it from the church steps up top by a grocery there and back on the wall when they spawn up. So, I mean, there's just so many places to get killed out of. What you really want to do with that is just bait it for score streaks. You just keep popping in there, you know, kill someone off the hard point, get another 200, get another 200, and a couple kills and a couple pops later, you've got full streaks from the top market hard point. So, you know, that one's a little trickier to play, and it's really not something we see in hardpoint except for Yemen, is baiting the hill for score streaks.
This is one thing that actually I was watching last night. I was watching the Impact scrims, and they were all in a party, and they were discussing, because I think they were 120 points up on Slum's hardpoint against Complexity, and then Cole just went absolutely huge and won the game quite convincingly. I think the final score was like 230 to 202, so Complexity really came back into it. And they were saying that they haven't really got anybody on that team who plays for streaks, and I think it could be, you know, quite a big priority for a team, because, you know, Black Ops 2, this is the only time in competitive Call of Duty where we've seen score streaks come in, and they can completely change everything about the game. One Hellstorm missile that gets a 2 or a 3 piece can completely knock virtually everybody off the hill. And then you've got control of it, and you can start to push in there yourself. And so I really think it's an important role for somebody to be baiting out for those streaks and trying to get control of it. And the quicker you get them, the